Hey everyone, my name is Shai. I'm the co-founder of Wing. Today, I'm super excited to show you the Wing Playground. It's a way for developers to get a glimpse of what we're building with Wing and experience how it simplifies cloud development by writing, testing, and playing with cloud applications right in your browser. Let me show you what I mean. This is the playground. It consists of a code editor to the left and the cloud simulator to the right. The simulator gets updated almost instantly when the code changes. Let's write some Wing code and see how it behaves. Some background on Wing: it's a new programming language, but as you can see, it feels pretty familiar, and you can probably understand the code even without knowing the language. The main thing that sets the language apart is that it merges infrastructure and application code into a unified programming model. Let's see it in practice. We have some code here. This is the infrastructure part. As you can see, we define a bucket. On AWS, it would be an S3 bucket and a distributed counter. And below it, we have the application code. In Wing, we call it in-flight. This is the code that actually runs in the cloud after we deploy the application. So what we have here, this runtime code increments the counter, and then it puts an object into the bucket. Pretty simple. The name of the object is the counter, and the text that's written into the object is the parameter that the function receives. And now we have some more infrastructure code. We have a cloud function. Again, in AWS, it would be a Lambda. And we can see this small application in the simulator. We have the function, and it is connected to the counter and to the bucket, and we can invoke the function. Let's give it a payload. Hello, product hunt. Invoke. And then we go to the bucket, and we see that 0.txt was created with hello product hunt. Nice. Let's do some modifications, shall we? So basically what I want to do is have another bucket that will be called upper, and I want every object that is sent to the original bucket to also be put into the upper bucket, but with the text in uppercase. So let's add the upper bucket. As you can see, it gets updated instantly, and let's link the two buckets. So here I have comment code that creates an event listener on the original bucket. Basically, what happens is that on create, whenever a new object is created in the bucket, this function gets triggered, where it takes the content from the original bucket, gets the uppercase version of the text, and puts another file with the same name in the uppercase bucket. Let's invoke the function again, and we can see that in the original bucket we have another object here, a hello product hunt with two exclamation marks, and the upper bucket has the new object that we created in uppercase. So you can see, pretty straightforward, and you can really get very, very fast iteration cycles while working with a Wing playground. Let's see the testing side, right? We said that we also allow not just to write applications and play with them, but also to test them. So with Wing, you can actually write tests like this. In the playground, this basic test makes sure that the uppercase text is created properly. So we have a payload, hello product hunt, we invoke the function with the payload, and then we wait until the uppercase bucket has content. We get the content from both buckets, and then we verify that we have the content that we expect. You can see here that I added a bug design to see that when we run the test, it appears here that will fail. You can see that I have logs here, and we see that expect hello product hunt in uppercase, but we get it in lowercase. Let's clear the logs and fix the test so it will pass. So we want it to be uppercase here. And now I'll run the test again. And voila, the test passes. So it's really simple and it works. And the nice thing about it is that you can run the same test here in the playground or locally on your machine, but you can also run the same test on your application in the cloud. Okay, which brings me to another feature for Playground, and that is the ability to see what the code looks like when it's compiled not to the simulator, but to different cloud providers and different provisioning engines. So we have here the AWS Terraform target, and we can see that we have a counter that is being implemented by a DynamoDB table, and we have the cloud function that is basically a Lambda function. And the interesting note to note is that compiler generates an IAM policy for us automatically, least privilege. So for this function that puts things in the original bucket, we have permissions to update items in the DynamoDB table. That's our counter, and we have permissions to put things in the original bucket. If we go to the event that we put on the bucket, this thing is implemented with an SNS topic, and we can see that the function here, the code that actually handles the event, it's being implemented by another Lambda function, and that function has its own IAM policy, and you can see here that it has permissions to read from the original bucket and to write to the uppercase bucket. And we also have some other Terraform goodies here. We won't go into details. And we have some JavaScript files. This is basically the application code and the test code. And so you can just take the compilation results with Wing, and you can do Terraform init, Terraform apply, run everything on the cloud. So I hope that you enjoyed this little demonstration. We invite you to take it for a spin, and we're looking forward to hearing what you think. Bye.